I've been seeing all this. Hey, my Legion, how are y'all doing today? I have two sad things to report. Two famous people, one, you know, worldwide and one local, passed away. And this rest in peace to both Brian Dennehy and Gary Drapcho. Now I'll tell you who Gary Drapcho is later on in the video. With Brian Dennehy, I saw it on the news, and the sad thing now on the news, if someone passed away, you have to make sure they say, to mention whether or not they died from the virus. And he did not die from the virus, he died from natural causes. Um, and he was a great actor. I really liked the guy. I mean, he was good. He could play like regular comedian, and then he could play really scary bad guy roles. Similar like John Goodman do comedic, but he was a good. I mean, he was really scary in that Cloverfield Lane and 10 Clover, or like Revenge of the Nerds as the coach. Cause I saw it was weird because I only saw Revenge of the Nerds when we rented it. That was the last time I saw it, and then Dad was watching it again and said, "Look at John Goodman." And I didn't know who, and that was before I knew who John Goodman was. So I was like, "Oh, cool! I didn't know he was in that." Because it's weird because you watch movies. Like talk about Rocky 3. Seeing when it came on the theater, the first part when he was doing the pro wrestling, that was Hulk Hogan. I didn't know who Hulk Hogan was at the time, so I didn't know who it was. Watched it again. Oh man, that's Hulk Hogan. I didn't know he was in that because I didn't know who he was at the time. Or like Corvette Summer on the Underground. I remember seeing it as a kid growing up. They thought Mark Hart was in because he was Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, but I didn't see that movie yet. I think it came out after Star Wars. I think they banked on his fame playing Luke Skywalker because it's such a hit movie. And Annie Potts was in it, and I didn't know that because the first time I see it, I think that might have been her first movie. I don't know. Well, anyways, or Eddie Albert. Eddie Albert was good playing a comedic role, or he could play like a really bad guy that you, boy, oh man. But Brian Denny was like that because he was in like a movie called The Check Is in the Mail that I don't think anyone's seen. I saw it in a more of a comedic role. And then he was in a bunch of really good movies like First Blood is the Sheriff. Oh, he's a bad guy in that one. And I saw the first three original Rambos. Cause I saw Rambo 3 for the very first time. And Rambo 2 and First Blood. And First Blood still holds up. The other one, Rainbow 3 was only okay. The second Rainbow doesn't hold up like First Blood. The First Blood really holds up really well. It's a damn good movie. You know, and then I haven't seen a remake. I only saw a remake of Rambo once. I didn't see the new Rambo. What else was he in? He was in Cocoon. He was great in that. He was in like FX movies. I like the first, and I like the second one too. Like I said, bestseller. Whole bunch of other stuff. And then it was weird in the 90s. I remember seeing in Fort Bragg. I saw Last of the Finest, and he was a cop in that one. Oh, and then when I was in Fort Bragg, I saw the TV movie in Broad Daylight where he played like this real life character. The guy in his family terrorized the town. Boy, he was a bastard. I mean, I was getting mad, and then I forgot all about the movie. And then when Dad was still alive, they had something called Movie Pass that he used to pay for. I always thought that the movies were free. There was like a couple movie channels like Disney, FearNet. When FearNet was still around, they had like their own thing, and they had like Fox Movie Network. Didn't have much of anything. I always thought they were free, and Dad said it was $5 a month. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I watched a lot of movies off of that. He was always getting mad at watching. I don't know why. And on Fox thing, I think they watched in Broad Daylight again. Oh, we watched it, and it's oh my god! And that's the movie I was telling you about with him. Yeah, I think I saw it in Fort Bragg with my buddy. It's like it was on Monday. I mean, it kind of like was on and forgotten about. It was just a TV movie, but boy, he was he was mean in that movie. He's been mean in some other ones too. Then after that, I mean, I saw First, Last, Finest. I saw him in some movies. I didn't see him as much. Maybe just because of I didn't see the stuff he was in. I don't know. Well, that's probably why, because he was still acting. I remember he was in a show in '94. I didn't know it was that long. I thought it was like '97, '98, called Birdland. And of course, If there's a TV show I like, of course it's going to get canceled. And I got canceled. It didn't last. It only lasted 1 year on ABC. I like that show. I think the last thing I really saw him in, well, he was the voice in Ratatouille. Uh, Cause I remember when I was hanging out with John, I was telling him about this. I couldn't remember it because they had like Master of the Horror. They had Fear Itself that came on TV. And there was a science fiction one. And I couldn't remember. I should have just said Masters of Science Fiction. That's what it's called. I couldn't remember what it was called. I didn't want to give it wrong. And then that's what it was. He was in an episode called, Discarded? Yeah, Discarded. And I remember that. I saw a trailer for that. I was telling John, because I was going through his IMDb, and that's the name of the show. And that was on ABC Saturday nights. Now, I used to watch that with Dad. Saw a trailer for it. I remember there's like the tiny elephant. Now I think it was an episode that Malcolm McDowell was in. Well, anyways, I saw on the news tonight. Thursday night. I'm put this up Friday. He sadly passed away, and like I say, one from it was from natural causes at age 81. So I want to say rest in peace, Brian Dennehy. Prayers to all your friends and family. He was a good actor. I like FX. I like the second FX too. Some people didn't like FX too, but I like that one as well. And he was in a bunch of great movies and stuff, and he'll be missed. Next, I want to say rest in peace, great Gary Drapcho. Some people may know who he is, but he was a local sportscaster. Whenever I grew up watching him, and his voice is very familiar, just like other people in local news like Sean Lafferty, Joe McCormick, Joey Stevens, David Belmondo, Lisa Adams, Mike Ruzzi. And they're both competitor stations, but they're all one when it comes to the loss of one of a reporter, And Vance McBride. Vance McBride was great. He passed away a long time ago. And he used to do the intro for saying the late night Channel 12 movie and stuff. I remember he did it for Sunday night, and it was the same beginning every time for Sunday. That was really cool. And I remember, I think the last time I saw him, he was doing in 2007. He was doing a PBS show, and they were asking questions and stuff, and then you call in. And if you win it, you get a prize. If you get the question right. And Dad knew the one question, a weather question. I won a $30 gift certificate to Fisherman's Wharf, which is now underwater, 10 inches of water and stuff like that has to be cleaned out because of the winds, the bad winds on Presque Isle. Well, anyways, Gary Drapcho was a very familiar voice. I think he started in the 80s hosting sports and stuff. And what really shocked me was I was seeing him. I kept seeing him. He was still doing his show and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, I turned on News Wednesday and it said that he passed. They had a big thing. He passed away. Oh my God! I just saw him. And my sister. I told my sister, and then she said she texted Mom in the morning. She heard about it in the morning. Because he was just doing sports up to the end. He had a bad heart, and just like with Reggae Frank 09. That was the very first food review I saw on YouTube. And then Trav, but he was the first one doing spicy food reviews. And he had a bad heart too. I remember he did a review of a Boot Jolokia. It was a white one? Or a chocolate one or something like that. He ate the whole pepper and it's he kept spitting because your mouth watered and stuff like that. And then I guess after that he went to bed. And he had a bad heart and he passed away in his sleep. And so Jay Drapcho had been, he passed away Wednesday morning, sadly enough. So I wanted to say, rest in peace, great Gary Drapcho too. I grew up listening to him. Oh, and Lisa Adams, Lisa Adams. Well, at least in the 80s and stuff, Lisa Zampa and stuff like that. And he'll definitely be missed. His voice was so recognizable, for the sports and stuff. He was a great reporter and stuff. So rest in peace, Brian Dennehy, and also to Gary Drapcho. And I hope you liked this video. Bye. Till next time, please take care, my legion.